Have y'all heard about Streamers University? So, okay, so Streamers University, let me pull it up. Streamers University is something that was created by Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat and his team and all of that, they created Streamers University. And so basically, it's a way, the trailer was pretty awesome too. Basically, Kai Cenat has come up with this genius idea where they basically take streamers or people that may or may not be recognized or as awesome or as big as him, and they putting them on, right? They teaching them how to stream, and getting them more visibility. You get to work with Kai Cenat. I heard DDG was also being a professor on Streamers University. He's accepted as a professor. And so, yeah, I think it's a great, 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 great marketing opportunity. Kai Cenat is really putting on his business hat. I see him being much bigger than the Kevin Harts of the world. I think that the old ways of comedy is it's not done, it's not over, but I don't think that the older comics are adapting as effectively as people like the Kai Cenats, Drewskis, all of those type of people. But they are streamers. Kai Cenat is obviously one of the biggest streamers in the world. I think that iShowSpeed is probably the biggest streamer in the world. But he created this thing called Streamers University. Now, the thing about Streamers University is he went through and I believe he selected, I don't remember how many people he selected, but he selected a bunch of people. And then as usual, there were a group of people in this trailer hitting. The cinematography in this trailer is slapping. As usual, you had a group of people that was basically mad that they didn't get picked. It created a bunch of drama. A whole bunch of people is saying different things. Old school, you too old to be hating on Kevin Hart, bro. Come on, man. We past hating. We past hating, bro. You too old to be talking about another grown man that you ain't never met before. You too old for that, big dog. Come on, man. We off that. Anyways, the point is that he picked a bunch of different people to be a part of his Streamers University that gives them more visibility, gives them a leg up. Most of the people that were a part of this whole situation is his friends. And that's where a lot of the disposition is. And now people are making videos saying, oh my God, I can't believe that y'all did these videos. What did y'all really think? People are disappointed that they didn't get picked. I see different people streaming in their places and streaming in their rooms and stuff like that. That's basically saying they don't know
like
what they
a
expected.
bunch of like known faces on there, like a whole bunch of known Twitch streamers, and I think people have thought like it was gonna be an event for broke ass streamers or like one or two viewers or something to teach them how to stream, and that was gonna be their chance, that was gonna be their big break, and it was gonna make and change their entire lives. And I seen niggas making TikToks like now is their chance, this is their moment. I'm like, I was just sitting back looking at him. I'm like, you just literally just giving this nigga promo for his shit, bro. Like, dude, Kai's smart, man, but that I could be completely wrong. It's just I know how this content creation shit is, and that'll be a smart way to get some revenue because being a big ass content creator like Kai, everybody's always begging him for shit. So everybody's always asking for a handout. Everybody always begging for a handout and shit. So why not make millions of people unknowingly give me website revenue for some shit I'm gonna make them sign.
So, of course, people are going to get mad at it and people are going to get bothered by it. And they're going to say, oh, my God, he just already too rich and he making a bunch of money and he picked all of his friends. That's what the biggest thing is. I can't believe it. He picked people that was already popping. He picked people that he already knew. He picked his friends, all of that, right? And I had a few different thoughts from this before we really get into the show. And the first thought that I had was, why are you upset that you didn't get picked? If I was going into this as a younger man, a much younger man, obviously, I would go into it from the perspective of, listen, I'm gonna shoot my shot. It's a nice to have, and then I'm gonna keep it moving after that. I'm never gonna rage out. I've seen people get mad. I've seen people crying. I've seen people getting raged out, creating whole videos about how they don't like him anymore. We made the wrong guy famous. They did all of those videos. Yo, my responsibility is on me to make sure that I get rich. I'm not gonna look to another guy, and it's incredible. It's an incredible amount of pressure. I tell you, it's an incredible amount of pressure when you get successful or you get visibility because everybody expecting you to put them on. Everybody feel like they should be entitled to get put on or part of your stuff or asking them for stuff. So it's a very difficult position to be in. But secondly, you know, I was talking to Jason Whitlock last week because the stream that him and I did is probably like over 115,000 views at this point. And so we was like, yo, it's no reason why we shouldn't be collabing and working on some stuff. And so we putting some stuff together. And one of the conversations that we were having, because we were talking about the different people that we would want to stream with and stuff like that. And one of the conversations that we had, I don't want to go too deep into it, was, nah, we can't do this. We can't do that person. We can't do this person because, they too entitled or they going to be feeling some type of way or whatever. And so the conclusion that we came to is that it's better to stream with people that's already got motion, because then they don't feel, don't nobody need each other, but everybody benefits from us working together. If I already got my platform and Jason got his platform and this person got their platform and that person got their platform, nobody is going to be tripping if they decide to go their own way or it's not working for them no more or they got more priorities or whatever, because nobody is interdependent on each other, but everybody already got motion, right? So you're going to have to get your own motion. You're going to have to do your own thing. You can't depend on Kai to fix you or get you rich or get it popping or any of this type of stuff, right? You got to get your own motion. You can't depend on another grown man. That's number one. But then number two, I started thinking about it a little bit more extensively, and I said, well, they complaining that most of the people that he put on was people that he know and is his friends. I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing. When I'm in the shower, and I was thinking about this, and this is why I kind of made this a part of this conversation, because I want to get this off. When I was in the shower today and I was getting ready to come into the studio, I was thinking to myself, man, if I ever get that 30 million a year, if I ever get to the point to where I'm making this, man, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this person on. I only need about 10 a year for myself, and then I'm going to give another 10 to 15. Actually, I was saying half. So I was saying I was going to give another 15 to the people that I stream with, and I'm going to take another 5, and I'm going to put other people in place that I know that's bag chasers. I'm going to need Azriel over here, and then your car going to have to be over here, and then we going to do this and do that. I don't think about people that's not outside of my network. I think about the people that add the most value to me. And the majority of what I think, whether it be the people that I stream with on After Hours or Q or whatever, I'm trying to figure out, okay, how can I get them a bag, or how can I put them in a position, or how can I leverage this, or if I get this sponsorship or this thing that I'm working on, or if we get this bigger deal or whatever, how much more money could I pay them? I'm only thinking about the people that's closest to me. And that's what real networking is. Networking is, let me get this off my screen. Networking is getting motion, aligning with other people that got motion, running up a bag together, and then figuring out how everybody can benefit from it. That's what true networking is. Networking is not going to a networking event. Networking is getting your own self together and then aligning with other people that got their self together so that you can then leverage and then get the opportunities, because networking isn't using people and it being one-sided. If people contact me and they say, Anton, what about this? Or Anton, come and check out my channel. I'm gonna give y'all some game right now, okay? I'm gonna give you some game. People hit me up and say, Ton, come check out my channel. Or Ton, I want to be on a panel and this and that, or whatever, so on and so forth. And I say, okay. So I look at the emails. And then I go to their stuff and they don't have nothing up, right? Or I go to their stuff and they only got 200 subscribers or something, and they just getting themselves started. I think it's kind of messed up that you expect something from me. You expect me to use my platform that I built out of the mud organically and then try to get you some motion and you don't add no value to what I already got going on. That's messed up. Have y'all ever thought about it from that lens when you go over and you start to ask somebody to put you on or give me some money? A relationship is supposed to be both people benefit somehow, some way. Whether you in a relationship with a woman or a guy or whatever it is that you're talking about, it's supposed to be reciprocal. Value add, because you add value to me. Value add because I'm adding value to you. We much better together. You know why most relationships don't work? Relationships don't work because it's always way one-sided on one side. A woman shows up and says, you know what? I just want to be taken care of. I want to live the soft life. I want to be a stay-at-home wife. And then you say, okay, well, what are you going to do for him? Ain't that what men supposed to do? They supposed to take care of their women. No. You got it mixed up, baby. They would take care of the kids. They would be nurturing. They would add value. They were a help meet. So it's an exchange. It's not supposed to be one-sided. He's not supposed to be better off without you. He's supposed to be benefiting as a result of you being in his life. So if the only thing that you can lean on is that y'all have known each other for a long time, or when I'm loyal, then that means that you're not adding value. You need to go ahead and remove yourself out of his life. If you loved him, you would remove yourself, or you would figure out how to add value and stop whining all the time about how you not getting what you need emotionally out of it. That's why we hold women accountable a lot of times, because we say, well, wait a minute, but what did you do? Or what are you doing? Or are you adding value? Or the only thing that you're doing is telling all of this business on TikTok? It's supposed to be reciprocated, right? So the first thing that you should do if you ever ask somebody, or you ever connect with somebody, or you ever trying to link up with somebody, the first thing that you should do is ask yourself, what value do I add to them? And then what value would they add for me? If it's exponentially one way, then I think that you should not ask them for nothing. You maybe need to know, you need a coaching call. You need to pay for services. You shouldn't be asking them for anything. You need to ask for a coaching call on how you can come up. When people reach out to me and they say, hey, give me some game, give me some visibility, promote me. And I'd be like, for what? For what? You know why I never asked people on my platform in the past? You know why I never asked people on my platform? As good of friends as me and Kevin Samuels was, I never, ever, not one time, ever asked him to come on any platform that I was a part of. He would reach out to me and say, yo, Tom, send me the link. Let me go. I'm going to come on here and kick some game. I never asked him to ever come on a platform. Our friendship had to be organic in real life. And I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why. I've never said this before. One of the reasons why is because I felt like I had a lot more work to do to get more visibility for myself, because it wouldn't be a one-for-one. It would be too one-sided. He had already blew up. He had already become successful. He was already great. He already had his own motion. He had already did whatever it is that he was doing, whatever it was. And when I seen a bunch of guys coming out saying stuff like, I can't believe Kev ain't put me on. I can't believe he ain't shout out the Manosphere. What about all of the guys that came before him? What about the people that he used to stream with or whatever? And I was thinking to myself, but do y'all got motion? Or would you slow him down? Because if they went over to your platform and said that Kev was attached to it, would it make him look bad? You know what who Kev attached himself to? MTR, the lead attorney. He was rocking out with people that was already putting in the work. You know why? Because they was all working together and they was all putting on for each other. And I would think to myself, well, wait a minute. It's because people think selfishly. It would be selfish for me to go over and say, hey, big bro, come on over or whatever, and then get upset if he said no. No, I was just working on myself. You know what? I got to grind. You know what? I got to hustle. You know what? I got to go ahead and take care of business. You know what? I got to get to this point. From a content creator's perspective, I was not there yet. I look at my old content from 2, 3, 4 years ago, and sometimes I'll be like, oh, man. But then I see where I'm going. I see how I've changed. I see how I evolved. Even the way that I communicate, the production level, all of that stuff. I was not there yet. I don't want to slow nobody down. I want to add value, and I want it to be reciprocated. It shouldn't just be one way. So when you're thinking about networking, when you're thinking about working, when you're thinking about being a content creator, when you think about being a businessman, you think about joining an organization, when they let you into certain places, they do so when you think about a country club, when you think about certain organizations that you have to pay to be a part of, that you have to give your dues. They vet you not just based off. Do you know why Kevin Samuels and why everybody? Let me just kick it with y'all, and then we're gonna jump into the show. Do you know why Kevin Samuels? He had the most relevant definition of what a high value man is, and everybody only looked at it as money and they took it and ran, because Kev understood and he broke it down and he said, listen, being a high value man is not about how much money you have. It's about how much money you're making and can you sustain it for an extended period of time in a professional field that adds value to other people, like other men in certain places. And he broke down the different things that made men high value, right? What you did was just as important as if you got it. Did you get it one time and you wasn't able to sustain it? How much were you getting over a period of time? Were you a part of a group that added value to other people? The definition got hijacked by women that wanted to have a conversation only about money because they could not understand for the life of them why they weren't getting the men that they wanted. You have to meet an expectation to be a part of certain groups because the value that those men have in that group or those people that are in that country club, they don't care necessarily about your money. They care about the value add. Everybody that's in the club is getting money. Everybody that's in the club can make a bunch of money. They're respected in their respective fields. What would you do for, like, what value do you add to the group? Or really, would you slow us down? And it's not even that they would necessarily use you, but they want the opportunity to do business with you. That's why you have to qualify yourself to get into certain groups. So when I see people that are complaining about what is happening in these groups or why they didn't get accepted, because you ain't good enough yet. That's the truth. You're not where you think you should be, and you think you better than what you are, but in reality, you just looking for a come up. You looking for a hookup. You looking for a hookup. Guys, when you get to a certain part of life, when you get to a certain level of life and maturity and money and resources and success, you'll start looking at everybody. You'll start looking at women differently. You won't look at women as, man, I just want to bust it down, because that's old news. If you get to 30 and 40 years on this earth and the only thing you still thinking about is if she a baddie or a bad chick, I would say you got arrested development and you still only 19 years old in your head, regardless of how much money you got, because you have to start vetting people that are in your life more effectively. The first thing that I look at when I see a woman is, how much does she have to lose? How much does she have to lose? What is her life like? Does she have a husband? Does she have a business? Does she have a family? What is her profession? How much money does she make? You know why? Because those type of women are less likely to Shannon Sharp you and accuse you of something that you didn't do, even if you decide that you never wanted to sleep with them. They can be around you and you don't have to worry as much about them because they got just as much to lose as you. That's why discipline is important. You can't come around me unless I see the value add, because I have to know that you are a valuable person and that you won't do something that I don't agree with because you're looking to come up off of me instead of adding value to what we're working on together. That is why we vet women. That is why it's important for you not to date down. That is why you have to make sure that the people that you surround yourself with is going in the direction that you're going in. The value add is going to be the determining factor between winning and losing, lawsuits or pure bliss, success or falling into the dumps, or somebody using your name to come up. If you are past the age of 30 as a man and you are still trying to just hook up with a baddie and you willing to risk it all, everything that you worked for, and you're not vetting people, you're not waiting some time before you start to interact with people and you start to bring them around you, bring them around your space, bring them inside of your office, spending more time building or whatever in your brand and all of that, and the only thing you can think of is busting it down, and you're willing to risk it all, I can't be around you because you're not thinking. You don't have the level of discipline and the character to be able to carry yourself and be successful, and you're going to catch yourself. You're going to get caught up in something. Even if you don't have nothing today, it's going to come back to bite you later because you was not thinking, you was not focused, and you was not worried about whether or not you was going, you know what I'm saying, how this was going to affect you long term. I can't be around you. I cannot be around you. You have to find people that have just as much to lose as you to be around. Otherwise, you are always going to lose. Point of this whole conversation is make sure that you add value. Make sure that you level up. Stop asking people something that you're not already doing, right? I won't even respond to people that don't have a certain level of motion online. When people, like, for example, I like when people make videos about me. I like when people say stuff. It keeps my name in the algorithm. It's a blessing. But then people send me stuff and they say, Anton, you're not going to get at this person. And I say, well, why would I do that? Me responding to them is helping them. Remember, what is this, a year ago, 2 years ago, me and Richard Fain was going back and forth. You know why I responded to Richard Fain? Because Richard Fain got motion. I don't know what he's doing today, but when I was going back and forth with him, I said, okay, well, this is a person that's worthy of having a conversation with about resources because he got motion. I'm not responding to somebody that's way down here. I help them. They don't benefit me. Them reacting to me, them talking about me, they benefit me. I don't benefit them. It's not a one for one. If you're going to beef, you're going to have to start beefing with people that look at it from a business perspective. I'm not beefing. First of all, I don't really believe in real beef in real life, but for the sake of conversation, I'm not being confrontational online with somebody that don't got motion. You dusty. But I appreciate you for the free promotion. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. You got to be strategic. I see them. I laugh. I even enjoy some of their live streams that they do. I enjoy some of the videos that they put out. And then I'll leave it at that. We laugh as a group. We put it on the big screen. We hit a like for the algorithm for them when they say stuff or whatever. And then we go to the next video. We get back to work. I'm about to take my time out to promote them. They don't got no motion. I can't capitalize off of their audience. Why would I do that? So just a little bit of game for y'all.